Yeah, man. Famous cartoonist Art Balthazar, as you see. Abraham Lincoln is with me, and we are watching, and you are watching. Famous cartoonists draw at night. They draw at night, by night. We're all here together, man. Buy their comics, buy my comics, shop it.
Welcome to Cartoonist by Night. I am Anthony Laatsch. I am joined here with Troy Dongarra. We have Matt Hansel, and our very special guest, a tabletop RPG illustrator and comic artist who I think has the awesomest name ever. Minerva Fox. How's it going, Minerva?
Sup, guys? Hi. Yes, my name is freaking awesome, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It's a cool name. Welcome.
This is a long time coming. I've known you for a couple years now, but we've been trying to get these schedules and the stars to align, and I'm very excited that it finally worked because you are here on the show, and when I reached out to you and said you could pick any topic that you want for drawing and discussing tonight, what is that topic, Minerva?
Horror.
Yes. Awesome. So we're going to expand that as far and wide as we can, whether it be movies, television, comics, books, novels, finger puppet plays, local plays, whatever you want to talk about. If it fits in the horror genre, we're going to talk and draw. Before we get into all the discussion and also learn about the art history and career of Minerva, we're going to figure out what we're going to be working on this evening. So, Minerva, do you have any idea? We see you kind of sketching some stuff out. Any idea your topic tonight?
Eldritch horror.
What is it?
An eldritch horror of some sort. Just a monster.
Oh, okay, cool.
Something to be stuck underneath the bed and scare little children and eat them.
Ooh.
Something like that.
All right.
You saying that just reminded me of one of the things I want to mention later. So,
okay.
There we go. Cool. I was composing my list of favorite things and making sure I didn't forget anything, and that was just a slight reminder. Okay.
These are a few of your favorite things. Okay.
Matt Hansel, what's going to be on the drawing board tonight?
Today I'm going to do a sketch card of the Phantom Stranger, DC's longtime horror host of his own title and also other stuff. And then if I have time after that, I'm going to do a commission with the Spectre. From DC Comics as well, two of my favorite horror comic book characters.
Cool. If people watched the last episode in the YouTube feed where we're just kind of doing a random drawing and discussing whatever, I talked about picking up the new Jim Henson Muppet.
Oh, awesome!
Nom nom. Sugar. Are they empty?
These ones are currently empty.
Damn.
Yeah.
There they all are. Those
That's
look so
childhood.
cool.
And they're all styled with the Jim Henson puppets because they've made them for some new commercials and ads or online promos and stuff. So, being inspired by that discussion last week, I decided to get some pencils on some items. Even though this ain't what I'm working on, ignore that. But I have some pencil sketches here for a Count Chocula. I do have a Frankenberry and a Boo Berry. I probably won't get to all three, but we'll see some of that happen throughout the episode.
Awesome.
All right. And Troy, any idea what you're going to be working on?
I just fell on it. I think I'm going to try and draw Hellboy.
Hellboy!
Nice.
He is a delight to draw.
Never drawn Hellboy before, so it'll be interesting.
This will be
just literally a rectangle with a smaller rectangle.
It's much.
And then a cylinder for the cigar.
A slight tease for later on in the episode, we will see what Hellboy looks like through Minerva's eye, because I have that queued up.
You have that one?
I don't own it. I have it
Nice.
queued up, and I
Man.
wish.
Oh, I know who bought that one. Never mind. Yep. Never mind.
But yeah, I have that queued up as an image, so we can all ooh and ah over that later. Okay, so we're going to kick it off with the show. We're going to start drawing and talking and doing all that stuff. We'll kick it off talking about horror stuff, but then we'll dive into later in the show learning all about Minerva. But Minerva, you chose horror. Can you start talking about your relationship with horror, the reason you picked it, and favorite things? Feel free to just start rattling it off, and we'll get drawn here.
Okay, so yeah, that's like one of the things that I don't know why. One of the things that I've never really understood why until I just really started thinking about it just about an hour ago, why I like horror so much, considering that I am like, I really like cute pink things half the time,
Yeah.
like Sanrio and all that other great stuff, is that I blame my dad because he got me. He used to watch Tales from the Crypt when it was on HBO or Showtime or something, when cable was still a huge thing.
Yeah.
And my mom could not watch any of that. I loved it, especially with the Crypt Keeper just cackling, and my dad would mimic that cackle, and it would just bring me to tears each time.
Yes.
And that started that. And then Are You Afraid of the Dark on Saturday Night Nickelodeon. Some of those things were scary as heck.
Yes. While we're talking about Are You Afraid of the Dark, because that is also a favorite of mine.
Hell yeah.
There's maybe two people in the world that I could say this line to, and they know what I'm talking about. So we'll see once. If I say the line, "I am cold," does that strike any memory for you? It is. There was an episode. I think Melissa Joan Hart was in that episode, and there was like a little ghost boy, and when they the only thing he would say early on, because he'd be outside, and he would just go, "I am cold," and
Probably to think about it.
Yeah, if you just YouTube it, you'll see the clip, and it's half funny but also half chilling when you think about it. But it's just such a memorable line of just going, "I am cold."
Cool. I am cool.
So yeah,
Is he cold because he's dead?
yeah,
Maybe.
I would. Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, is that sort of the shtick, or?
I get. Well, yeah, he's a little ghost boy, so.
There's a reason why he's dead, and he died.
Oh, I didn't hear
overexposure.
that it was a little ghost boy. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I got it.
He probably was
Got
killed
it.
before he died.
There were clues there. I didn't catch them.
You can go back on this episode and check it out, Troy, and
Get
experience.
those numbers up. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Exactly. See, yep. Minerva knows the old, all the tricks and the trade of the streaming and the promoting yourself. So
The algorithm gods. That is an eldritch horror right there. The algorithm gods. It totally does not care about you and your health or anything or your mental sanity. It just wants what it wants.
and what's
That's a story right there.
and what's crazy is that the algorithm might be in the room with us now.
It is.
Ooh.
It is. And it is watching and skimming for words and for moods. It's reading the room. And it's like, this is not worth the viewer's time. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, they're unsubscribing. The algorithm is unsubscribing right now.
They're doing the ghost unsubscribes and shadow banning everyone, shadow banning us all, including my channel and everything like that.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So beyond Tales from the Crypt and Are You Afraid of the Dark, anything else you want to spout off before we catch up with you later?
back in college, I qualified for my freshman year. I qualified for like an advanced English class, and that advanced English class specialized in horror and writing horror, and that was the best class ever. Better than any of my art classes. Definitely better than Math 101. And it was just so engaging, and really started thinking of like what makes horror and what makes it effective. And that's when like Ju-on came out, The Grudge, The Ring came out too. So
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, there's all this beautiful things and it's reading my soul.
yeah, good stretch of movies there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's almost getting to spooky season, so I
That's
am
right.
prepared. I am preparing my body for it.
Yeah, and once those monster cereals showed up, that's when I'm like, all right, I guess I'm into it now. You know, it's forget August, forget September. It's already October over where I am. So
Yeah, the weather's that like the weather is not AQ for me anymore
yeah,
because it doesn't matter anymore.
pretty much.
That's its own horror right there.
Ooh, climate change.
Roar. It doesn't care about you. It'll do what it wants.
This Halloween. All right, we're gonna jump over to Matt Hansel. Want to talk about some favorite horror things and influences? Any childhood stories of the like?
Yeah. When I was a kid, kind of the opposite of Minerva, my mom loves horror. And so my dad won't watch horror movies or anything. So I was the one that watched all the horror movies with my mom. And when my dad would travel out of town or whatever, we would lock all the knives up at night so that, you know, the knife murderers wouldn't break into the house and kill us and things like that. But she was really into vampires, and she still is. And so I watched a lot of vampire movies as a kid, even the old B ones, you know, the old B 80s B movie vampire things like Fright Night and stuff like that. Saw all of that. So that was always a big influence on me, that kind of B movie storytelling. And interestingly enough, I've only done 2 horror stories in my comics career. I did a short story for an anthology, which was about a cop that is the devil, and then I did cartoon puppet horror theater for American Mythology, and that was about Muppets that got caught in a horror universe and were being chased around by a guy with a meat cleaver. It was a lot of fun. I really really hope they want to revisit that idea sometime.
Yeah, I know I picked up a couple issues of that, and I got to revisit that since getting to know you a little bit better. But I just picked that up independently, being a big Muppets fan, and I'm just like,
cool.
Yeah. And because you talk about Muppets and puppets and horror, I'm going to break my my schedule here, my organization that I have to show off this original art piece, my first purchase from.
Oh, very cool.
This.
Nice.
I think I bring this up. I mentioned this to Minerva at least once a year, where I'm like, "Hey, just remember, I'm continuously treasuring this." I had to take it out of its protective case right now just to show it off, no glares. But can you kind of talk about what inspired you to do this awesome horror piece, with Kermit being swarmed here by the yip 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 yip
Yips. Oh my god, that's my favorite one.
This is amazing.
I forgot that you got that. Wow.
I think that's the very first thing, because I saw it and I remember there was part of you that was getting ready to like talk me out of it just to get the print, and I'm like, no, I want the original, and you're like, all right.
Okay. So, yeah. So that was my therapy during March 2020, during lockdown, and I made that whole series just to get done and feel better about myself and having. Where's my ink? There's my ink. Getting that done. Okay, good. That's the ink. And that was number 3, I think. My first one was Cookie Monster. Second one was Release Me Elmo. That was the third one. And I did that one Saturday on stream. And like, that's also a Fozzie piece. A Fozzie the Bear piece. Nice. You know that, right?
Oh, this one is?
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, wait, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Is that his little hat there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I had never noticed that. What's that, like the pork pie cap or something? What's that called?
Yeah, that, whatever that. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And where is Fozzie?
Uh-oh.
Is what I ask you.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Is Fozzie Pandemic dead?
No, he's not pandemic dead. He's worse.
What's going on here?
No.
Okay.
Where is Fosse?
Is
What
this-
happens when some people are stranded, starving, with no water?
Oh no.
Oh no.
So I see there's
Oh,
some blood stains here. Oh, I was just looking at it, but up on the camera here. I'm this is horrifying.
yes. Yes.
So
Yes, it is.
yes, it's a froggy bear world.
Mm-hmm. You got it. You got it. Yes, that is yes.
Waka waka. Wow. That's awesome. Well, there we go. I learned something new, and now it's it has even more value than I thought it did originally. So
It's my favorite. That was the best one. And that honestly, I accidentally I not accidentally, I posted that on a subreddit, the I'm Sorry John subreddit, where it's Garfield turns out to be an eldritch horror to
yeah.
John Arbuckle.
Yeah.
And on Sundays or whatever they say, and any eldritch horror, and I posted that, and it went kind of semi-viral, and that's what inspired me to continue on to keep doing the series and finish the series and get that into prints, into the little print packs.
That's really cool.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Cool. We'll jump back to Matt Hansel if you had any other things to add.
I enjoy horror comics. I was a big fan of Jim Aparo's Spectre series in the 70s. I wasn't alive back then, but I read it in reprints and whatnot. And also, I am the right age that in the 90s, Sandman hit right when I was starting to expand my horizons in comics. So the horror elements of Sandman and a lot of the Vertigo line from DC really speaks to me quite a bit.
That one episode in the first season of Sandman on Netflix, where everyone was trapped in the restaurant.
Yes.
That got me so good.
Yes.
And my husband did not like it at all. Because he's more of he wants the hopeful stuff from
Sure.
Sandman.
Yeah.
But I ate all the popcorn that day. It was so good.
That was a great episode. Was that one of the adaptations of one of the comics? I don't remember.
I honestly don't know. That was my first real dive into the Sandman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've read a couple issues here and there. I know Mike Allred has. I think he did an issue of Sandman, so I've read that, and I've had a couple throughout the years, but I've never done like a proper read of it at all.
It's good. I mean, not every story is a home run, but overall, I think it's pretty good. The quality of artists that worked on it was just amazing.
Yeah. Cool. We'll jump over to Troy. What comes to mind when horror enters it?
I mean, I like the typical monster movies, like the American Werewolf in London. I think is probably one of my favorite. A lot of the what do you call them? Like the Universal monsters, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Wolfman. Just not a. I love monster movies, but like the slasher movies, never really got real big on those.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something like the stuff that's definitely fantasy I enjoyed, but the things is like, oh, that could happen. I don't like that. Never
Too
really
close to
got
home.
into. Yeah.
And if I may interrupt, let's bring our attention to Troy's work currently right now. And like, I know you're not confident in your paper in working physically, but you are very competent in working physically. Those strokes that you're working with your Fudnosuke is very good and very clean and very intentional. I'm really liking his demon gauntlet going on in there. Yeah. Yeah.
Anthony,
Honest
we
to
should
God.
have her on often. Have her on as much as you like, Anthony. She's a joy.
I was just going to mention
I
that
like this one.
I did send her the invoice, and so she's just been paid for the compliments there. So
Sweet.
that was an early birthday present for Troy. You're welcome. Nope, I trust Minerva.
You
And
guys are the best.
I trust her artistic eye, and I believe in the truth.
And you got a gorilla's look for him too, and it's super cute. You do.
What look?
Okay,
Band
Gorillas, the band.
Like the musicians, gorillas?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You don't see it? No, of course, yeah.
Oh,
That makes sense as you don't see it, but yeah. I see it.
Love it. So yeah, you're not into
Okay,
the
there.
slasher type movies, but you like the Universal monsters. Anything else into the other mediums of fiction and comics and books and that you can think of, Troy? Is Troy frozen? I think you put him in shock. I think you put him in shock.
Oh no.
Oh no. Reboot.
He's probably
Shut
just
up.
like, you know what? That was a
I'm
great
done.
end on. See you later, and there he goes.
His head exploded or something.
There's not enough brain matter in there.
The algorithm got to him.
There we go. Oh no.
Some guy named Algorithm got to him.
Algo. Al. G rhythm.
Yeah, there we go. So while we wait for a message from Troy saying that he is rebooting, I will go. So I made a list of mine so that I didn't have to, I'd hate to forget some stuff. But since I have the show and tell right here, I am a Goosebumps kid.
Oh God, yes, that too. Yes.
Oh yes.
Like, as much as I, read comics as a kid, but I think as far as like reading prose beyond just, reading stuff for school, I just have fond memories of taking along to the pharmacy with my mother and running to the rack and the shelf at the local pharmacy and trying to see if the next Goosebumps book was there. And I was very fortunate enough that if there was the new one, that I was allowed to get it. And I pulled this one specifically, the You Can't Scare Me, just because I love mud monsters and creatures and swamp creatures and things like that. So if I had to pick a favorite one, definitely I like this one, especially the the Tim Jacobus covers. Doing all the art. What he's done, 160 covers.
Did he do all of them?
I think so.
Or close to,
or pretty close to it.
Of the original series, I'm almost confident of the original. But I met him a couple years ago, and I bought a sketch from him. And all right, Troy just popped out, so hopefully that means he's rebooting. But yeah, so yeah, I think Tim has done well over 160 of them.
Wow.
Oh, man, that's a career goal, if anything.
So I even went to the length of writing my own Goosebumps book as a kid and made my own cover. And I remember taking just my utensils and just keep crossing out at the Goosebumps thing to try to make it bumpy. So I'm roughing up the paper and I'm just doing everything. I still have that book today. I should have. It's buried somewhere, but I made my own Goosebumps book and wrote it and everything too. So, but. Yeah, so when I think of horror, I think Goosebumps is the thing that jumps into my brain first. As Minerva said, Are You Afraid of the Dark? That is definitely a favorite of mine. It's just such a fun ritual for Saturday night for Snick and just time when that came on, if that was maybe at the 8 o'clock hour or 7 o'clock hour, I forget, but probably the 8 o'clock, 8:30. And I just remember getting excited and turning off all the lights and just being like, all right, it's spooky time, kids. And
yeah,
part of the secret
definitely was spooky time. Some of it affected me. I can't sleep. Clown will eat me.
And I know that it inspired me and my friends. One of my friends who lived on a farm They would just be like
Ooh.
a little spot in like a barn, like kind of like I think it might have been like one of their office areas for the farm. So at night we would all go out there, us and a couple of us for a sleepover and stuff, and then we would just tell our own scary stories. And it just was, when you're surrounded by the darkness and farm animal noises and just you see
Silence.
yeah, you see like machinery and things dangling around and the shadows and cats and spiders and lions, tigers, bears, everything.
Oh my.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of books, there's also scary stories to tell in the dark.
Yes.
Yeah, those were good. Those were scary. Welcome back, Troy.
Troy,
Thank you. My internet kicked me out. Did you guys
Oh.
hear me cursing before it finally pushed me all the way out?
no,
No.
we made it canon that Troy was overcome by all the compliments and just had to leave. So
I was. It was super uncomfortable. I turned red, even though the camera wasn't on my face.
Oh,
you can apply some of that red to Hellboy later on. So
Yeah, I'm gonna need
Unfortunately, that's his blood. So
super
I
red.
mean,
whatever works. So Troy, when you're gone, real quick, I said Goosebumps. Are You Afraid of the Dark? And then those are some favorites of mine. And then I love the Child's Play movies. I've said it a couple times before that even as a young child, don't remember any restrictions from my parents on what I watched, and they'd back me up and say I was a good kid. So I think they knew that we can let them watch Chucky and nothing's going to come out of it. So yeah.
ugh, yeah,
So I
fear
watched
of dolls forever and ever for me.
the original Pet Cemetery movie.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah. Yes.
that was. Did you read the book? That one.
I don't, but I am inspired to read it just because I've had this love of the movie. So
It's you will unexpectedly cry as well.
Mhm.
Just FYI.
cool.
It's one of his better books. It's really good.
Oh yeah, and when it gets into the whole cemetery part,
Yes.
and when they're going to that part of the cemetery, that was I'm
Mhm.
like, that's creepy. That's creepy. I don't like this. It's
got-
scary.
I got a feeling that future Anthony, when he hears this back, he might have to be purchasing a copy of that officially.
Future Anthony, remind yourself. Go get the book. Go
Yes,
rent it, or go to your local library and support your local library.
that is a great plug. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
As
I
Troy
remember being very little and my father reading it,
said, oh, okay.
and my dad, my father put it down and said, "That guy sold his soul to the devil to write that."
Seriously, man.
Well, that sounds like it was pretty scary. I don't think I'm ever going to read it.
Wow. Let's see here. As Troy mentioned with the original like Universal Monsters, I have that love as well, especially with the Creature from the Black Lagoon. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is a top favorite thing in my life, and then going from the TV Buffy into some comic books, they had a line that they would do Tales of the Vampire. It was under the Buffy line, and it was just
Oh.
kind of random, just like creepy vampire tales and stuff that had the Buffy logo treatment and everything like that. And so I got a couple trades and issues and stuff of that. Let's see here. And when Minerva mentioned, creatures hiding under the bed, immediately I just thought of Nightmare Before Christmas with the just the intro song and talking about the creature that is hiding under the bed. So Nightmare
Oh,
Before
yeah.
Christmas is a favorite thing of mine.
Yes.
And it is
I
appropriate season
didn't
to
think
watch
about
it.
that. Yeah.
There's
And
so
I
many
watch it at
things.
Christmas and at Halloween.
Yeah, you get double whammy. 2-for-1 special there.
And then talking about comics, popular right now because of the sci-fi show, but Revival, the comic book series. Mike Norton, Tim Seeley, Jenny Frison. I was on board with those comics since day one. They take place in Wausau, Wisconsin, so it's kind of familiar.
Close to the heart.
Yes, and Yeah, so I was on board for that stuff right from the get-go, and it's cool to see the extra attention it's getting right now with the television series that a friend of mine, Luke Boyce, is the director and like co-creator, showrunner, and stuff. Chicago guy, so it's cool to see that revival is getting out there after a long time of
Hell yeah.
trying to find a movie or
Nice.
TV show and stuff like that. So those are a couple of the top things that just kind of I didn't want to forget any, so I had to write them down.
And you're writing it down.
That's how prepared I get sometimes.
Excellent.
All right, we're gonna take a quick little status check on our art before we dive into focusing on Minerva and how she became so awesome. So look at the progress on Minerva's screen there. You want to talk us through how that one's coming out for you?
All right, this is a monster of some sort. He's got humanoid arms with root-like fingers, apparently, and has the bottom half of tentacles. Bottom half is full of tentacles.
Yes.
Apparently, 1, 2, 3 tentacles so far, and he's got lots of teeth. And this is for my friend Eli. He, for some reason, he got it stuck on his head that I must always draw teeth, and teeth and scales is his thing to yell at me. What is it? I don't know what to draw. And he says, teeth and scales. It's like, okay, fine. So draw a monster. Okay, I'll draw a monster.
Teeth and Scales would be a good name for a monster art book from you, just throwing it out there.
Okay, fine, fair, yes.
Just
Find it live in Kickstarter in like a couple of years then.
There we
Okay.
go.
All right, future Anthony, remind future Minerva in 2 years from now.
We'll do, and and I'll be the first backer.
Okay.
After Eli. Eli will be the first, and then I'll be the second.
Okay. Oh man. And then a reward tier will be whoever, like your custom monster designed and in the book for funsies.
There we
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's an idea.
Here we go. I can't wait to see it happen.
Okay, future Minerva. Hey Google, remind me in 2 years to make a Kickstarter about books of all my sketches of monsters.
Love it.
Oh my god, it did it. It did it! Awesome.
All right.
Okay.
Mr. Anthony's off the hook. There we go.
All right. So yeah, I got a little inky monster, this little ink boy. I don't know what to call him yet.
And this, yeah, so I'd imagine completely out of
Very
your
fast.
imagination, just kind of freestyle, being like, yep, this is what's happening, right?
Mm-hmm. This is my choice. I'm committed. We'll see where it goes.
Love it. And as we focus on your piece, if you want to kind of talk about, we've talked about it before the show, just with loving physical media and drawing and everything. Can I talk about the materials you're using tonight? Just for I'm a stranger to all that stuff, but I know our fellow castmates here know all about that stuff. So can you kind of talk about what you're using tonight?
All right. So right now the surface on which I'm drawing is just basic Bristol board. The brand is Strathmore, and I use that mainly because out of convenience. It's available on all most major art stores like Michael's, Blick Art Store, which is a Chicago vendor. So always support your local people there. There's possibly nicer things, but its tooth is non-existent. It glides. Your pen glides right on it, and it can take a beating because I am very physical with my pieces, and I will get the elbow grease going if I need to. So that's the surface. I'm currently using Speedball Super Black for my ink. I already laid a layer of brushwork down on there just to denote the main dark tones for it. And now I'm using my dip pen, my favorite dip pens. It's a wooden holder. I got this off of Amazon years ago, and it's held up pretty well, but it is showing signs of warp on the very edge, on the very tip. But it's a metal dip pen. Tachikawa nibs. Tachikawa nibs is what I'm using.
Listen.
Yeah. Thank you. And just dipping it in and making scritchy noises because it's very soothing.
Very cool.
Yeah, I like my cross hatching.
Once in a while we'll get into discussing what we're using and stuff, but I found this is a good time to do it when I check in with drawings, especially with our guests. That's kind of a good way to kind of throw that information out there for everybody who's drawing and at home. So cool. All right, Troy, how's Hellboy coming along there?
I'm
Oh, he's
having
so
fun.
cranky.
Looking good.
He's looking
I don't know, just
fabulous.
I'm having fun.
Lovely.
But
I
I
can't wait
do
to
see
see.
the gorillas thing now that you mentioned it. So I'll take
Is that
it.
intention? Like, so what? It's not an intentional style that you
Nope.
thing. You would just wung it into that.
It just happened.
Cool.
It's a whoopsie.
That's a good whoopsie. I'll do it again.
Thank you.
All right. And let's go over to Matt Hansel. Let's see some progress on your end there.
Yeah, I got the Phantom Stranger. Whoop.
Yep.
There he is. Got the Phantom Stranger
Nice.
done.
Excellent.
And I before I start working on the Spectre commission, I am working on a little Spectre sketch card.
There we go.
Rawr. I love those hats. The
I
hoods.
like the Spectre. He's a cool character.
He is, and he's been around. I always forget he's been around since the 40s. You know, the
Wow.
original Spirit of Vengeance.
Is that what he is? I didn't.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't know that.
He was originally a cop that got killed by a mobster, and he comes back to life or not as the Spectre. He comes back to enact revenge on those that hurt him, and then evildoers everywhere.
Okay.
It's a classic thing.
And,
Does it ever dive into the whole afterlife, Matt?
They did in the Spectre had a series that John Ostrander and Tom Mandrake did in the 90s. It was about 50 or 60 issues, and they really delved. It was one of my favorite comics. It's a good horror comic, but they also do exactly that. They went into hell. They went into the afterlife. They talked to God. I mean, they did all kinds of fun things. It was great.
Ostrander was known for the Suicide Squad comics, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Cool. I started with my favorite of the Monster Breakfast cereals with Frankenberry. I just laid down the colors and such. I'll go in after the show with folding some lines and extra details and things like that. But so far, Frankenberry is on the menu.
Nice.
Yummy.
Looks good.
And here's a great example, a little segue into showing off some of more art that I own from Minerva. Now, here's a sketch card for me, as I just talked about. But check out this Murder Falcon sketch card.
You have it?
I have
You
it.
have that.
It's upside down now.
There you go.
And so, yes, this was at Oh Yeah Comics. It was in the binder, and I saw that right away. I just like, oh, there's Murder Falcon. Daniel Warren Johnson is the creator of that amazing miniseries. Check it out if you haven't. And then I happened to notice, this is a Minerva piece. So, but yes.
Yeah, if you also want to cry, check out that series too. Yeah.
And just looking at the detail and just like how much there is in such a small sketch card, we definitely have some teeth here, and I look at some of this stuff being like, all right, this is what I can aspire to someday. So, but for right now, we get Frankenberry. So, and
doesn't have teeth.
yeah. Well, you've been taking up all the teeth, so
okay. All right.
I looked at a couple. I got a couple reference pieces for the monsters, and the ones I'm looking at, I don't see any teeth for Frankenberry.
That's what happens when you eat all the sugary cereal.
Yep.
Okay.
Will happen. Here's another sketch card I own of yours as well. This awesome Wonder Woman.
Oh wow!
So once again,
Oh, that's really cool.
So yeah, just showing off some more of the talent of our guest, Minerva Fox. Okay.
I think I need to hit up Joe and say, hey, I think you kind of owe me some money on that.
Yeah, it's probably sitting there for you.
Yeah, I need to actually get there.
So that's a great segue into talking about how we met and why you're here tonight. This show, Cartoonist by Night, exists because of the love of All Yeah Comics. All of us were part of our Art and Franco's fan club, if you will, with them doing their live shows and making their comics and doing everything that Art and Franco do, with Scoot and Dave Scheid and everybody that gets to play in the Oh Yeah Comics universe. And then we have Joe Crone, who is the manager at the beautiful downtown Skokie location, which Minerva is part of that community. They have a Monday night drawing club and hangout, Mystery Industry Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
Can you kind of talk about your association with Oh Yeah Comics and art and just how you got into that community?
Oh gosh, yeah. So I actually have lived in Skokie nearly all my life. Moved out when I was mid-20s, because I got married and we moved out to Schaumburg, and then we moved back here to buy my parents' place. And just revisiting downtown Skokie and seeing how much it's changed was pretty cool. There was a comic book store by the Baskin Robbins on Dempster, but there wasn't anything in the cool downtown area at that time when I was a kid, back in the day in the 90s. And it was like the traditional comic book guy's worst date ever comic book store back then. So I would go there not regularly and just grab whatever manga I could find or anything that looked good, but there was no interaction with the dude who managed it then. Then go back to fast forward to contemporary times, and Aya was there. And it's like, oh, this is all like brightly lit. It's colorful. It's inviting. The manager kind of talked a little bit. The previous manager, not Joe. But then when Joe came in, then it really got going. It had a much more positive presence. He's very talkative. He will talk with you and remember that you said ages ago. It's like, I said that? Oh, yeah, I did say that. How do you remember that? Okay, and then he started the Industry Mondays, and I don't come in as much as I should, but I do. When I do, it's super fun as heck. Just to talk smack to everyone, because that's my default mode, is to talk smack, and that's what it is. And I like helping them out whenever they need any sort of help on sort of stuff, and whatever comic piece stuff that they have. And just to talk to people and be social, because being an artist is a very lonely job.
I can speak to the truth that when Minerva shows up at the shop, everything else stops, and we're all like, it's all about, getting excited for Minerva being there. And so, yeah, you definitely bring a lot of energy to that world. So,
which is weird, because I never really think of myself like that.
No?
No.
Well, when you're in your comfort zone there, Oh Yeah Comics, it just brings it out of you.
It's just because like Ducky's there, and I like talking to Ducky. Ducky's fun, and then Joe's there, and I go like Joe at him, and and everything. And then I see some people. Oh God, what's his name? He's gotten really good with his pencil work, his sketching. The Irish kid, he's not a kid. Damn it, sorry. Well, you can keep that, future Anthony. You can keep that. He knows who he is if he watches. He's gotten better with his portraiture and stuff. And I like seeing that. And I like seeing Leia when she draws her Pokemon. And she has definitely grown as an artist with her Pokemon. Because, yeah, I like seeing people like sticking to their guns when it comes to art. Because I've seen a lot of people drop off from it. From my college days, when all of us were aspiring artists. We graduated with an illustration degree and everything, and I never hear from them again. And just knowing that I'm still doing it, and if I can encourage people to still do it, that's all the better. And all that good stuff.
I will second that it is thrilling to watch people grow.
Hell yeah!
And I'll embarrass Anthony for a second. Anthony has grown leaps and bounds since he started doing this, and it's just amazing to watch. Super,
Hmm.
super pleasant and pleasing to see somebody learn and grow and take what do you call it? Like upgrade up? How does the word go?
Level up.
You level up is literally the
I don't
word
know.
used. So
Can't think of the word that I'm thinking of. Level up. That's the word I'm looking for. It's fun watching folks level up.
well, wait, all these compliments. Is my screen freezing? Oh no! See you
Oh
later.
no.
No.
Take a compliment.
Oh, I'll take them. I'm fine with them. No, but Troy, yes, he has literally said the level up thing, and it does put a little extra pip into my step. I know Matt Hansel has sent me some compliments too about some of the work I've shared. So it's yeah, it's always fun to be surrounded by people, being inspired by people, and kind of just being around a bunch of different styles and just seeing
Yeah.
how everybody does their thing. And there's just there's no right way to do it, and everyone has their own thing. And yeah,
That's the thing, especially with cartooning, is that there everyone. You're right. It's everyone has their own thing, and it's not there's not a wrong way necessarily to do it. I mean, but there's no one right way to do it either. And yeah, I have a friend Jeff who I work with on a comic strip, and he does backgrounds and some layouts and stuff like that. And in the last year, he has so leveled up and become such a tremendous background guy. It's
Oh
amazing to
yes.
watch.
Backgrounds, they can really make or break. You
Oh
can
yeah,
really feel when a panel is empty and there's nothing to go off of,
yep.
and then see it come to life with a really good background.
Hmm.
All that staging and all the acting that you can do within the background. That's awesome.
yeah. I always get excited to use some of the available space for whether it be Easter eggs or just little jokes that people might not even get. Just to use that space. One of the artists, I'm trying to think of their name right now, on the original. Well, not only the original Ms. Marvel Kamala Khan issues, but also the Runaways artist too. That they were so good at just putting so much, like Ryan Brown is another example for talking about Chicago people and stuff too. That Ryan Brown's put so many jokes in the background that a normal comic, if you're reading it for like 15-20 minutes, you're going to be reading his issues for 40 minutes because like there's so much to go back and devour. And every little like magazine on the rack or a food stuff on the shelf has a funny label on it and stuff, like things that are essentially going to be overlooked mostly. And but then knowing how much time somebody puts into that little thing. And yeah.
Hmm.
The original Easter eggs.
Yes, yes. So let's see here. Oh yeah, so All Yeah Comics, like I said, we all assembled through the love of All Yeah Comics, and that is how I've come to meet you. And I think it started with helping out Art at one of the C2E2s. And I think he just told me because he would just like jump back and forth, run over by Art, and then I think he just told me, he's like, "Oh, you got to go see Minerva. She's tabled here, blah blah blah." And then that's when I started seeing her work and everything. And I have a couple other physical pieces here to show off.
Yeah.
I've got this deep dish or bust. Chicago
Nice.
dish there. So I'm surprised that this is still intact, that I have not tried to eat this particular print. And then another one here. I mentioned Kamala Khan, but here's an awesome Spider-Man and
Oh yeah.
Kamala
Oh
Khan.
wow.
That was an old one too. That was back in 2016, 2017, I want to say.
Possibly 2018.
Okay.
Okay, so there's that. There's that. I covered that. So the next thing I'm going to do here, now we learned about the origins of Minerva and comic shops. Oh yeah, comics. But let's find out about Minerva's art origin story. Talking about where and when art came into your life. And as you talk about that, I'm going to start showing off some images of your work that I had pulled from the internet and from your portfolios and all that stuff. But feel free to kind of Tell us about your artistic journey.
Oh man, so there was never a start date. It was always there. My earliest memory of drawing something was after watching The Little Mermaid back in 92-ish. I think I didn't like the ending, and I drew Ariel and Eric, their feet, their shoes, and they were it was implied kissing and something like that. I don't know, but it was definitely it was me trying to make my own fan fiction before I even knew what the heck fan fiction was at the time. But that that was in 92. So I just kept on drawing. I would draw during school, drawing during class, get a little bit in trouble on it. My mom decided to get me like to have me tested for to get into an art school, and I apparently passed with flying colors. And then we had to move back to Skokie, back to Illinois, from Virginia. Sorry, weirdness. That was weird geography here. I remember that picture. Okay, that was I got tested into an art school. Then we had to move, and then we kind of forgot about that. But I just kept on drawing, getting in trouble because I was drawing instead of listening in class. And then my cousins showed us the movie Akira from way back when, and fell in love with it on how beautiful it was and how absolutely grotesque Tetsuo became. And the fact that people died in the movie and everything, and it was an animated movie, that got me into anime, basically. I eventually got into Sailor Moon, and I still have my original copies of the entire Akira line back there on my bookcase. I still occasionally go through it if in case I needed a jump started, like on how would I do this panel, or I just need to look at something pretty or something incredibly complex to get me angry, and so I'm gonna do that, damn it, and then I do it.
And
That's
because you mentioned Sailor Moon, I had this queued up for later, but you have the Heavy Metal Sailor Moon. Can you kind of tell people what that is?
Heavy Metal Sailor Moon is my fan fiction of what if Sailor Saturn was the leader of the Senshi instead of Sailor Moon, and then Sailor Moon comes back. It's just basically me getting back into drawing on the regular, since after the birth of our daughter. She's now 14. She just turned 14, and she's absolutely fabulous.
Oh,
But
happy birthday.
yeah, we call her the monster truck on the interwebs. That's her. That's what I refer to her as. But she is. But in that nebulous time of being a new parent, there was not a lot of time for drawing. And then as soon as she was able to not immediately die if I didn't leave her alone, I would start drawing again, and drawing Heavy Metal Sailor Moon was getting me back onto a schedule and dedicating time to it, and scheduling time to it, to get back into drawing. And that's what really got me into comics, further into comics and creating comics and understanding the language of comics. And then it kind of went from there. That took like 5 years to finish that graphic novel. That was fun. And I still want to do it again. I'm going to do it again. Ooh, that's a nice rock. Joy. The ledge that he's on. See, you're good, dude. You're good. Don't let those intrusive thoughts. If you get intrusive thoughts, send them over to me. I'll knock them down.
Yes.
Okay?
You'll smack them.
Me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Troy.
I'm sorry. I was zoning out of listening to Sailor Moon stuff. Like, what the heck?
She drifted.
I switched.
She was distracted
Like
by
the
rock.
What kind of rocks are we talking about with Sailor Moon? I
Your rocks.
need to watch the show again. Heavy Metal Sailor Moon.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we took that tiny little detour. If you want to get back on track after discovering, the anime and manga and such, if there's any other part of your artistic journey.
Yeah, I went to college for art. I majored in illustration, 2D illustration. Um, and I didn't actually learn much from that in an artistic standpoint. I got my degree, which got me jobs that weren't in art, but it was after the fact is where the growth really occurred. Just by observing other people, interacting with other people, like what we're doing now, and then seeing all the different styles and seeing that, yeah, just, yeah, it's, that's when the growth really started. That I did not have my fertilizer. If I was a plant, I was absolutely dying in college. Whereas at once internet was much more readily available and accessibility to see other people's stuff through DeviantArt, Tumblr, Twitter. At that time, it that was my fertilizer. To go with the plant analogy, apparently.
Cool.
Okay,
You'll
I went there somewhere. I focused all of my skills on art. The talking bit is I just kind of like let it be its own thing.
You'll get there eventually. So,
No,
you're
I
doing
won't.
great.
No.
and then the last piece I have here, but since we talked about Hellboy as well, in case any of us missed it, I'm going to cycle back to this Minerva's Hellboy piece here.
That's with
Hellboy.
ink. He's Hellboy.
Beautiful.
He's so angry and cranky, and he smokes cigars. He's gonna get cancer in his mouth.
I feel like this kid version of Hellboy would do good with a cigar. Would work if I had thought about it.
Ooh, I have a suggestion, Troy. Can I see
Okay.
the pistol? His gun, please. Put a little flame out there, like a flame, like it's
I
the
thought
pistol lighter.
like coming out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, like it's a lighter. Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be cool. I might be able to fit a tiny cigar right there, but I don't know.
Get your white out. You
Yeah,
can do it.
I'll definitely do something there to kind of tie it up.
Like I said, whatever you do, don't start over, and so keep going.
Don't start over.
Don't start
Yep.
over.
Oh,
There's no time.
I can't fit this in there. I might as well start over. No undo button on this one.
There's not, and that's a valuable thing. That undo button.
Commit. You commit to the artwork. Commit to the piece.
Yes.
Commit to that line, or just put white out over on top of it. It's all good. No one will know.
You mentioned
I
some.
don't know where I heard it, but I heard somebody say one time that artists never finish a piece; they just like settle on it.
Yes.
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 I recently talked about that with somebody, not knowing where it originated from, but I'm sure there's a lot of versions of that.
Yeah.
Kind of like, you're never going to be finished, so it's just stop and move on to the next thing. Like if you're working on a comic book, you can just keep chipping away at that issue and correcting it and finishing it up here and there, but then you're going to drive yourself nuts, and it's never going to be done. So because at the time of this recording, issue number 3 of my comic Race Christopher is at the printer, and
Woohoo!
I recently had the same kind of thought when I was going through, and I'm zooming in and just looking for every little imperfection and touch-ups, and there's certain things being like, oh, this definitely needs a touch-up, and then there's a couple of them being like, all right, I'm leaving that, because I'm like, no one else is going to look at this as closely as I am, and as I got about halfway through the book, outside of proofreading and whatever, but just on the art side of things, and I'm just like, you know what, it can be a little sloppy if it needs to, this little thing, and just to show that
It's fine.
yeah. So
It's fine.
I got to that point, just being like, yeah, I'm happy with it. It's fun.
Good. That's excellent.
Except for the in the first issue, I forgot one of the characters. I forgot their eyebrow, and I noticed that after the fact. Like when I was making my first book, and I'm going through, and I checked it over so many times, gave them the thumbs up with the physical proof in my hands. And then the very next day, after saying yes to it, I sat down with my proof copy to read it for the first time as a fan, to just be like, yep, there's no more critiques. I can just sit here and enjoy it. And then also I notice, oh, this person, I forgot their eyebrow. So that's going to be a little plot point I'm going to work into a future story somewhere. So it was on purpose.
Oh, that's cool.
Decided to take microblading as a sport.
Yeah, there we go. I was going to go the Conan O'Brien route, when they would have like the fan corrections, and fans would write in or call in and say, hey, your facts on this was wrong. But then part of the gag was that the Conan show would go out of their way to make that actual mistake be on purpose and be like, actually, you're the one who was wrong. We meant to do this. And then they completely rewrite everything just to make their mistake feel like not a mistake.
The ultimate retcon?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I have another little comic here that you worked on, that you did the art for, the Haley Brown Gets Groceries. This
I love that one.
A fun little romp. I reread it today in preparation for this here. But yeah, can you kind of talk about the collaboration and what's going on here with Haley Brown?
All right. So this is written by Drew Meismer. He is a new-ish comic artist, and I think he's really good. He's got a really good base and can definitely grow from here. He's got Haley Brown is basically a college student who finds out that he has superpowers, and he's going to a superpower college school, a superhero college, and I forgot what his power is, but that's mainly the side dressing. I think the best part of it, this is mostly comedy, and it's just a lot of just unfortunate things happening to Haley. Yeah, exactly. Like he can he's trying to get groceries in this, and he just can't get groceries. He keeps on getting interrupted, and it's just like, God damn it, I just want to get groceries. I have no food. And I know he's got there's another one in the works where he's trying to open up a checking account. and I think Drew really shines with his puns, because he makes his villains amazingly punnish, very punny, and incredibly dumb. Like, they are dumb as a box of rocks, and it's hilarious. And it's seeing how his style in writing grow in the 3 years I've known him. Like, he and I are working on a more serious series of comics called The Last Royal, and it's very steampunk with lots of violence and gore and horror elements in it. Whereas this is, that one, The Last Royal, and whereas Haley Brown is more lighthearted and comedy driven. This one is much more plot and character driven, but seeing him grow and getting all those story beats and finding continuity errors and maintaining a story arc, the character arc in The Last Royal, is pretty damn cool. I digressed. What was I talking about?
We were just talking about Haley Brown and comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All good stuff. It all fit in where it needed to.
Okay.
Cool. So yeah, that was just a little brief history lesson there with Minerva Fox and her art journey, and why she's hanging out with us here tonight, and talking about the horror genre. Minerva, is there anything else you want to add? Is there anything new horror that you're really into that's come out within the last handful of years?
Actually getting into horror shorts on YouTube, just short, scary movies, like 5 to 15 minutes. And the last one that I really there are two that I really liked, one of which was very good, called The Portrait of God, where a student is working on a presentation about a portrait that looks black to everyone except for certain people who think that it's a portrait of God. And then you'll have to watch that short 10-minute movie to find out what happens, but it's absolutely wonderful. It tickles all my fancies when it comes to horror. It's got eldritch horror, it's got religious horror, it's very claustrophobic and everything, and it's very well done. That's one of the things that I've watched actually in the past couple of weeks. And I was like, hey, I like this a lot. And then another one is Close the Door by 10:04. It's a very short, that's a 5-minute movie video of someone who lives in a house where you have to close the bedroom door by 10:04, otherwise you're going to die for whatever reason. And whatever spirit is trying to get him to open up the door. And it's just a very classic Goosebumps, Are You Afraid of the Dark type of feel to it.
Okay.
And it's actually a very low budget production level, but it's also very effective with building the tension in it within that 5-minute span. And I was actually questioning of whether or not this guy was questioning his doubting, like questioning whether or not the door was actually had a bad guy behind it, or was it really his friend behind the door? And spoilers, it turned out it was actually something bad. But I was like, oh, it was very satisfying getting to that point.
Okay. And then what
It
was
was a
the
very effective movie. Close the door by 10:04.
Okay. That's a YouTube
Yeah.
thing you said?
Yep.
All right. Future Anthony is taking note.
Yeah. And it's very short, very sweet, and it's a very good snack of a movie.
Hmm. What I've been doing recently is going to a lot of new horror movies in the theater, but purposely going in knowing nothing. Like I might know, like, okay, here's an actor I know that's in it, but I won't watch a trailer. I sometimes don't even know the director. I don't know the plot. I don't look at the poster. I don't read the poster. I just kind of like, all right, that's kind of something to kind of add some extra suspense to it. Sometimes if I'll see Superman and Fantastic Four, I've seen every trailer, I've seen every interview, every clip, every this and that, and I dive into it. But I've been kind of taking a opposite approach specifically to horror. And at the time of this recording, I just saw the movie Weapons. And I purposely won't say much about it just because how I talked about how I went in pretty blind. But I heard a lot of good things about it. Julia Gardner, who is the new Silver Surfer in Fantastic Four First Steps, she was in the Wolfman movie that was earlier this year. So she's having quite an awesome year at the box office. So I decided to, all right, I'll go check out Weapons. And very, very good, very unsettling, very suspenseful. Once again, not even knowing what the heck it was about. I was just right in there with the mystery. And yeah, I've just been kind of loving that little added bonus of just not knowing anything and just throwing myself into a horror movie.
Yeah, that's hard to do.
Yeah, I thankfully, I didn't see any of the trailers prior for some of them, and I'm trying to think of the other one. Oh, is it Together? I think it's called the Allison Brie and Dave.
Oh,
Franco.
yeah. Yeah.
Together.
Oh, that one I want to watch too.
So yeah, that one I went in mostly blind as well, Beyond the Stars, and that was also that had a little more fun in it, I guess, compared to Weapons, but not that it's like a Slither type comedy or anything like that. But it's dealing with like body horror stuff, but there was a couple moments where they allow two people who are very successful in the comedy genre now doing a horror movie, so they still were able to stretch their legs a little bit and keep doing a little bit of comedy and stuff. But yeah, I had fun with both of those movies I just mentioned.
Is Julia Garner? She was on that Netflix show Ozarks, right?
Yep.
Yeah. She's really good. She's really good.
Yeah, once I had seen her cast as a Silver Surfer, and then I saw Wolfman was just coming out when I started to get familiar, and then I'm like, all right, I'll have to add Ozark to the list as well. Cool. So that's some of the newer stuff. I've been in the comic world. There's been a real strong horror like anthology movement, not only with like the EC comic stuff coming back, but just like there's a lot of horror one-shot anthologies out there just from even publishers if I've never heard of them and I saw them in the catalog or something's recommended to me. So it's been really cool to just kind of see horror having a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Hansel, is there anything horror related of new stuff that you can think of?
I enjoy some of the slasher and some of the kind of dumb serial killer movies because I enjoy camp tremendously, and I enjoy the just idiotic ways they come up with, slaughtering people and things like that. There was a Christmas movie a couple of years ago with the guy from Stranger Things, the guy that plays the sheriff, where he plays like a Santa Claus kind of thing, or I can't think of the name of the movie.
Yeah,
Not Bad Santa, but I know what you're talking about.
Right. It's really good.
Oh, it is?
Yes, and I went into it thinking it was just going to be a silly slasher thing or whatever. But it's actually is much better than it has any right to be.
Just because I had the name David Harbour.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And also a former Hellboy, so we'll keep the Hellboy.
Oh, right. Yeah, right.
But yeah, the name, it's on the tip of my tongue. I saw it as well, and I had a blast with it. So,
is it called Silent Night, Deadly Night? Maybe.
I think just
or just Silent.
Violent Night.
Violent Night, maybe. Yeah.
That sounds right. Future Anthony is screaming at us right now, showing us. We'll find out who was right when you.
Sure, it's called Silent but Deadly. I'm positive.
Silent but deadly.
Yes.
That's when you have too much milk.
Yeah.
Speaking of milk, I started Count Chocula here, and
my fave.
Very nice. Yes.
Oh, he has teeth.
Yeah.
But it's not that. It's not sharp. They squared it off.
Oh, yeah. I had
looked. They neutered him.
I've been looking at that. That's because originally I was just going to be like, all right, let's get ready for some fangs. But I'm like, oh, I'm just seeing like the buck tooth basically. So
yeah.
But yeah, I decided to. I think I emphasized the chins on Frankenberry as well as Count Chocula, but there's no chin for Boo Berry, so I emphasized the bow on the sketch I did. But yeah, that was just the theme I went where I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go heavy on the chin. I think that fits with the Muppet theme. That's probably
the Habsburg jaw.
Even though looking at the original art and stuff too, that's very chin heavy, but.
You got to be able to fit all those hands in there.
Awesome. Troy, anything new or anything you've dabbled in with horror in the last handful of years?
I don't know how new or how old it is, but there's a self-published horror comic called Wolf and Batsy, and if I can spot them on my bookshelf.
Yeah, I remember
by Brian Bow. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or wrong.
I remember making a note of it because I know you mentioned that off air one time, but I got to check it out yet. Stay tuned as
So as far as horror comics, I really like his. Trying to remember the website. Brian Bow, Baugh. So it's all kind of old-fashioned black and white horror. It's a little bit cartoony, but he does the black and white textures really, really well, and creepy. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I think I have the whole series. Trying to remember the website that you can go to buy them. It's a print-on-demand website. You guys probably know the website. I just can't recall the website off the top of my head.
Future
GIBSON,
Anthony.
Comic Wellspring.
Future
I'm
Anthony.
gonna see if I can find, because
Okay.
I reached out to him long ago to say, "Hey man, your art is great. I'd love to buy this. Where do I get it?" And he sent me a link, and if I could find that email,
Yeah, maybe type his last name in
then
the email if it filters it, maybe.
let's see, Brian.
Yeah, I've recently been opening up some of the original Tales from the Crypt comics. I got a volume or two of those, and it's been fun just to kind of go through some of that old stuff recently.
Is that reprints from like the 50s or?
I would imagine from the original line, yeah, it's all. I'm trying to think if I have it nearby here, but it might not be accessible. But yeah, I know the Creep Show comics have been making a comeback. They've been doing a lot of spin-off series and like I said, anthologies, and yeah. So there's, if anybody,
Indie.
yes,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
go ahead.
IndiePlanet.com.
Nice.
And his name is Brian, with like Brian Lee O'Malley, Bryan, Bow, Baugh. It's called Wolf and Batsy. Alterna Comics also picked him up for a period of time. I believe they were reprinting things. I don't think it's any new material, but yeah, I like the trade paperback versions. I've read each one about twice, so good stuff.
Excellent.
Cool. All right, we'll do another little check-in on some art. Minerva, let's see, talk us through your progress and what's happening.
Just hatched the hell out of it because it's very soothing. It's like built up a lot of the shadows, and yeah, it's a good little sketch. He's very gross. He's got lots of light orbs going around him, maybe to distract people. It'd be like the lanternfish down in the deep seas to distract people, and then he eats them. And he's got a long, prehensile tongue and teeth with which to chomp people. Grab your
Nice.
He did
hands.
that very quickly.
That's one of my saving graces.
You were very fast, yeah.
Thank you.
Love it. Mad Hansel, check in.
Yeah, I finished a Spectre card.
Oh, he's adorable.
Love it.
I
So
love. Oh, you got the
we've got
rib muscles there too. Nice.
And then I am working on the bigger piece, the commission with the Beagle Boy in it, and the Spectre and the giant fly swatter, and
It's the Beagle Boy.
Ooh,
so
that's gonna be
That's
very
cool.
painful for the. Thank you for remembering the Beagle Boys, because I was like, it's like the goop. It's like Goopy. They're dogs. But
I
with
was so
hands.
excited when I got the commission request because I'm like, man, I've never drawn them before, and no one that I would think would request that, so I thought I was really excited.
Yeah,
They specifically requested the Spectre swatting at the Beagle Boys.
Yes,
Okay, all right. All props for them for that creativity there.
it's a good weird commission, you know.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the over on the Crimson Cowl Comic Club, my comic club show, we've been having D. Brad on as a repeat guest. He's not here with us tonight, but Marvel's been doing a bunch of what if Disney, Mickey Mouse, Donald
Oh yeah.
mashup things, and we've been covering all of them on the show. And we've seen the Beagle Boys show up a couple times throughout the, if it's like Donald Duck as Iron Man or Minnie Mouse as Captain Marvel, and like we've been reading everything they've been coming out with, and I think there's a trade paperback collection of all of them coming out soon. But
Oh, cool.
and cool seeing the Beagle Boys get a little spotlight in some of those books.
Yeah.
Excellent. Troy, did we finish Hellboy over there, or taking a break? Can we see some progress if it's available?
Yeah, I'm pretty much done with what I think I'm going to do. I forgot
Excellent.
most of
Very
the
I
cool.
love what you put by the pistol. That balances that out very nicely.
Is that kind of what you meant by like fire, or were you thinking something?
No, but you've improved upon it. You've improved upon my idea. You took it and made it better.
Working with some
Oh.
Kirby Crackle there, and
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so all the reference pieces. He's completely bald at the top, but I kind of drew a kid version, so I gave him a little bit of hair at the top. He's definitely receding, but gave him a little bit of hair.
it
He's
worked.
got a who's the actor that does Elrond? Who's Elrond? He's got that deep V hairline.
I know who you're talking about. He was
Yeah.
also the bad guy in the Matrix.
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he kind of does look like that guy.
Does.
Aw.
That's our new fan casting. The dude from
Yep.
Lord of the Rings is the new Hellboy.
We're gonna need a lot of CGI on this one, team.
He just needs to bulk up with all the creatine. That's all. It's all good.
All right. I started laying down some base colors for Count Chocula. Still got to do some more work, but this is where I'm stopping for this evening. In the post credits, we'll see all the finished work from tonight's episode. But so far, I've got this. I didn't want to do Booberry on the episode because I wanted to try to make him more ghost-like. So I wanted to play that one a little more careful with kind of the thin lines and coloring, and I wanted to be full concentration mode on Booberry. So. But we'll see him in the credits for anybody who wants to be scared.
They're looking very good. Nice, clean lines.
Sweet.
Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't know what route I was going to go. Originally, I was going to draw them on some of the pre-made crispy card backgrounds, but I felt I wanted to emphasize the colors a little more, so I just went with the traditional sketch card version. But so yeah. I'm looking at all the stuff here, and I'm looking at the art I've purchased, the sketch cards, the prints, the comics, all the other stuff that I had meant to get to, which I have now done to talk about Minerva Fox. We've checked in with our drawings. We've heard about our favorite horror things. And what's great about topics is that we're never going to be done with them because I'm sure we can expand on it even further. So much more to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But we are going to bring this show into the station here. This episode is going to be coming out right before the end of August. So, Minerva, is there anything that's on your schedule for like library shows and such? Anything you want to promote towards the end of August or into September?
Well, actually, yes, I do have a comic. I do have a library con in Harwood Heights Library, mid-September. I think it's around the 13th. But yeah, there's that. And I still stream on Twitch every Tuesday and Thursday and at 8 p.m. Central on twitch.tv/Minerva Fox Art. You can see this setup, with the nicer flashy bits and everything like that, and me complaining about the process the entire time.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to go on with so much production value, and like Minerva's over here, she's over there, just like this camera, that camera, this camera, this camera. So it's always cool to kind of see that setup and you just rocking out and drawing for everybody. A website that people, if people wanted to purchase some of these books or anything else that you have for sale, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can always find my stuff on Minerva. Wait, no, it's artbyminervafox.com. I do have an e-store in there where you can get a copy of Heavy Metal Sailor Moon, some of my prints that I still have left over from conventions, and a lot of my indie comics as well.
Information to be along the bottom for people to check that out, as well as in the show notes for clickable links. So.
Yay.
All right, and then any kind of social media presence beyond the Twitch that you want to promote and kind of people to follow beyond the websites?
Yeah, actually, you can follow me on Blue Sky. on, what is it? Is it Minerva Fox Art? Yeah, it is Minerva Fox Art at Blue Sky, whichever. I am also available on Instagram under my old handle, which is Blue Troller. You don't have to follow that one. You can totally follow me on Sky. It's gonna be up there. It's more awesome there.
Fair enough. And there's one final thing I wanted to bring up because actually, when I reached out to Minerva and said you can pick any kind of topic, let's hear it, you supplied an interesting question for all of us to answer.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to kind of bring us home with that question, which was, if money was no object, where would you hole yourself up to complete your magnum opus project? Like, would you stay in an isolated lighthouse to write your version of Stephen King's The Stand? Now, for people to start thinking of their answers, I had let our cast members know beforehand in case they wanted a little extra prep. And Matt Rogers, one of our cast members on hiatus at the moment for Cartoonist by Night, he did chime in. I just have to scroll to get his answer real quick. So he said he'd rent a Frank Lloyd Wright house, Airbnb, and then Falling Water maybe, and they kind of had a little waterfall in front of the house and stuff. So that was kind of his go-to, place. Minerva, since you proposed that question, do you have an answer for that one?
Oh, no. Maybe some really expensive haunted castle up where there are lots of castles with big vast forests and moors where I can get lost in and I can sit someplace and watch the sun go across the sky and try and paint and just look up and see ghosts.
Ooh.
Something, I don't know.
That works.
That works for me right now.
Troy, do you have an idea?
Some place with mountains. Mountains are impossible to look at and not imagine things happening, like creative. There's giants in there, or there's thunder gods over there, or there's little trolls that are bowling and giving old men beer that makes them sleep for 100 years or something like that. Mountains are cool. So someplace with mountains.
I amend my answer to include mountains now.
To include mountains.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Matt Hansel, what comes to mind for you?
For me, I thought about this quite a bit. I would my magnum opus would probably be a Marty and Spud story. So a good creative place to think up of a nice, weird, but exciting Marty and Spud story. I would lock myself. I'd rent out the House on the Rock.
Oh my God, that place is so weird.
In Wisconsin, and I would stay there until it was done. That is one of the weirdest, coolest places I've ever been.
Yes. Yeah, future Anthony, future Troy, go to the House on the Rock.
I'm sure I've been there.
It's so weird.
I'm sure I've been there in my past, but not in my adult life at least. But
it's still weird. It's mentioned in American Gods.
Yes, right. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
That's how it became really popular again because of that. I think because of American Gods. But
maybe I'll record a future episode from there. That'll be my background. So
there you go.
Yeah, in the lobby area. I don't know about the men's room, but in the women's room, just in the entrance area, there's just a bunch of dolls behind a glass wall, like Chucky-like dolls, like the
man, my daughter would freak.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She would be like, nope, I am being in the lobby. This is not happening.
I'm gonna hold it
indefinitely.
Yes.
And my answer for location, Minerva said if money was no object, outside of going to Comics in beautiful downtown Skokie, that would be a great place to do it. But if I truly had to pick a place, it was going to be Leland, Mississippi, because it is the place where Jim Henson grew up. It wasn't his birthplace, but it's where he grew up, and they say that's where it was when Kermit the Frog was created in that during those times. And I think, a lot of my stuff is kind of inspired by the Muppets and the humor and the charm, and just, brings a lot of
Definitely
joy
the
to my
charm.
life. So I would like to just be surrounded by that energy that Jim Henson created the Muppets in Leland, Mississippi. So
That's good.
Interesting.
yeah, I would just find a little pond or something, and just hopefully a frog
Just
will hop up.
Think
to
of Rainbow Connection. You definitely got
to-
the charm, Anthony.
And
Go find a swamp and draw.
hopefully it won't end like this.
No.
Okay, well, that is going to do it. Minerva, that was an awesome time hanging out with you. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. Y'all
Great.
are
Thank you, Minerva.
gents.
Yes, thank you, Minerva. Thanks for coming on.
Yes, feel free to follow her and go to her shop and support Minerva. Go see her out at the library shows. All that information you can find on the social medias. And whenever we're going to need some more compliments, we're going to have Minerva back to boost our spirits. Thank you, Minerva.
Yes.
Yes,
gotta
thank
end this
you.
up.
Yes, thank
We've got to end it because the sun is starting to come up and it's time to get back to our day jobs. Good night, everybody.
Damn it.
Yeah, got it. Can't get the thing closed.
Have you played Atari today?
Okay.
I was crossing my eyes.